I don't know if y'all are feeling the shift that's happening right now. The shift that's moving the atmosphere and changing the way people see things, believe things, understand things. We are truly in the age of Aquarius, and as an Aquarian, it's making me be so much of myself that I can't deny it. Like, I can no longer suppress the things that I can no longer ignore or overlook the pet peeves of life, right? Like, and because of that, it's forcing me to choose different situations. It's forcing me to choose different relationships. It's forcing me to choose what I deserve on every level of my life. It's almost like such a cognitive dissonance that I can no longer just like go with the flow of what the world has been trying to serve me. And I fully believe that this is like the step of me moving into my next level, was me choosing to move away from old things. Of course, the way life moves, like, a lot of this shit started involuntarily, right? So what I've learned so far is that when you're not ready to move and you are going to continue to be complacent in the course of your life, or the course of what you are doing every day, or the course of how you believe, you are going to continue to get moments that are going to force you to be uncomfortable. And so many people will stay uncomfortable for the sake of being complacent and comfortable in their chaos or their sadness. A lot of people say they want better. A lot of people say they want peace, but they're so adjusted to chaos and drama and all of the things that are soul-sucking and soul-wrenching that they will stay there, because knowing that devil is a lot easier than knowing the devil that they don't know, if that makes any sense. I myself am an extremely loyal person to a fault, and what I've seen in the past is that I've had to fully I've had to be pushed out of situations. When I dedicate my time, energy, or, life force or love to a thing, it's even a company, I am a very loyal person to a fault. My first wedding band I was with for 15 years. And I was with that band despite the fact that everybody's wages were increasing around me. And I was still getting paid like, a 2 or 3 year old wage salary for the work I was doing. I feel like one of the things I was supposed to learn in this lifetime is that I need to know when it's time to go, right? And I really had an idea of what 2025 was going to be for me. I really was like, oh my God, this is finally the year that, like, I can stop all of these negative things from happening. I'm finally going to get what I deserve. Like, everybody that's fucked me is going to have to repay me on God, feel me? And I'm going to move forward. And I thought that was how my year would start, right? But that's not what happened. Like, my 2025 started out with more and more people screwing me over and betraying me. And essentially fucking my money. And when I tell you, for the first time, I've been in LA for 20 years. This will be my 21st year. For the first time in 20 years, I always have a backup plan, right? So when I tell you option A, B, and C fell through, and then I'm stuck with option D, which I love, because option D was the new thing. It was my baby. It was what I was given to create a space and to be myself and respected and paid what I was deserved. And then option D closed. Like, when I tell you the shit that was stripped away from me, that I felt like I was building and working towards something substantial in the first 3 months of this year. And I feel like so many people are experiencing a level of shift that started off as a very involuntary, chaotic, what the entire fuck is happening in my life? Why is this happening? And that's how I felt so deeply up until this month, right? And then it all started to make sense for me. And I hope maybe this makes sense for somebody, that a lot of times God will pull stuff away from you because you won't move from it. Like, I've seen this happen in my life so many times, but I felt like this was the time with this last thing that I chose to walk away from, where God was like, you need to choose for yourself that you deserve better. I don't care how much your situation looks like you don't know what you're about to do next. Trust me enough to know that you've been in LA 20 years. I've been in Los Angeles 20 years, singing for 20 fucking years. I've seen so much. I have lost so much. I've had TV shows that were taken from me at the last minute. Like, when I tell you stories for days, and through all of it, I have sustained my life, living by myself, supporting myself with a great circle of friends and family, right? So I feel like God was really calling me to walk without being pushed out this time. And I recently just did that with a venue I've been at for 14 years. And it's been kind of like my home base, like where I just, and I'm driving from it now, where I just learned to, so every comedian has a place where they workshop their material, okay? I had the privilege of getting to know a lot of comedians in Los Angeles when I was doing my radio show. And they would invite me and my co-host, to their workshops. And it used to be down the street from my home at the Ha-Ha, where they would take their material that they have never performed on big stages and literally work it out on stage in front of us, a small crowd, and like a bunch of other fucking comedians. So this place has been my workshop space where I was able to discover myself vocally, push myself to do harmonies on the fly, you know, just knowing that I've heard this song, so you know what you've heard, replicate it, right? Take requests that I've never done before, explore the songs that I wanted to build for my songbook and what I'm good at. And I fully feel like this place has served a purpose. And it really felt like home, you know, to a certain extent. But recently, in the last 2 years, 3 years, I have been extremely unhappy here. Not because of who I play with, because I play with great people, great-hearted people and talented people, but there are some people who work here that get away with shit that is completely unprofessional. And for the last 2 years, it's been something I've brought up, like, long story short, certain people don't show up on time but get paid the same amount of money. And what happens is, as the other singer or performer, I'm forced to work more because you choose to be late every fucking time you're on the books. Not only do you choose to be late, but you choose to be late and not even give a shit. And you show up like, oh well, no apologies, nothing. So I'm singing double, triple time what I should be singing in the first hour when you should be here. Not only that, the tips that I get while you're not here, you show up and think you're entitled to them. That's a hill to the no, to the no, no, no. We don't do that. It's unprofessional and it's disrespectful. And it's something I brought up for over and over and over again. And what I found was, instead of niggas addressing what I said and understanding how unprofessional that is, everything I've been saying about this person has been overlooked. And instead, the focus has been turned back to me. Because I don't stand up and perform the way this person performs. Now, mind you, I still motherfucking perform, and I still touch people, and I still get people to move and connect and sing and dance and do whatever, right? But what I realize is that sometimes people will undervalue you so much that they could give a fuck if what your points are valid or not. All they want to do is shine the light on you. And I have experienced that so much in this industry because, believe it or not, the music industry is highly misogynistic. And it's ran by a bunch of men who think they know what they're doing, and most of the time they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just like to have a say and a voice because they're paying the bills. But most of the time they don't know what they're talking about. And this was a circumstance where I should have quit a year ago. Like I said to a server who was about to quit a year ago that my time was up because I don't appreciate being held to a separate standard and being forced to work longer than another person who shows up and makes the same amount of money as me. That shit is disrespectful. Like, we're all here to do the work. That's what should be done. And if you can't show up on time, then you shouldn't be fucking working here. And I don't care how long you've been here. Because mind you, if she being me, the black chick, would show up late, I would never have a fucking job. And unfortunately, as a black woman in this music industry, this is something you see consistently, where you see men get away with shit that you would never get away with. Or you see a lot of people of other colors do some shit and be praised for it, and you be like, really? Okay. But you have to work harder. You have to show up more present. You have to be more on time. You have to be more on top of your shit. You have to look way more put together than other people because everybody thinks that you're replaceable as a black woman in this industry. And point blank period, I'm tired of being disrespected. I'm tired of being undervalued. I'm tired of having to explain what is professional and what's not professional. I'm tired of telling niggas, oh, well, I'm actually present at the gig and this is what fucking works. I literally see how it moves a crowd. This is what we should do. And having people just fucking ignore me. I'm tired of it. So, had my last band gig with the band I've been with for 4 years last weekend. Nobody knew. I told them when I was there. Everybody was like, what the fuck? I know myself. I know my God. I know my spiritual team. I've been doing this shit longer than that company has been around. So for me, it's like, cool. You think you can do better than me? Go ahead. Please. Go for it. I know what I bring. I am the table. Feel me? And I used to feel bad about feeling some kind of way about it. I used to feel bad, like, oh, I shouldn't be so. No, I'm not. I'm a humble brag. Don't get it twisted. But I'm no longer in a space of where I'm going to be like, oh, I'm not going to. Because I know what I do. I know who I am. I know what I can do on a stage. I know how I affect people. And that's what you pay me to do. And you trying to micromanage me and overlook my expertise and my fucking knowledge and my ear and my intuition. I don't need to deal with this. I'm too fucking good for this. I deserve so much more. So I did that last week and everybody's like, do you want us to talk to him? I was like, nah, it's cool. Like, trust me. I've been through so much in LA, and every time I thought I had nothing, God showed the fuck up. Every time. I might have had a transition period that was uncomfortable, which is what I'm in now. But every time I went to something better, right? So tonight, I told the bartenders, like, why I quit. I told them, like, I can't do this shit no more. I'm so tired of being picked on for something so small when I show up professionally and show out professionally, and the same people want to nitpick shit when it's not even warranted or valid, because you won't even address the fact that motherfuckers show up whenever they want, and you're paying these people. So if that's what you're gonna let them get away with, don't worry about it. I don't need to be here, because you would never ever ever let me get away with that shit. Yet you want to sit here and nitpick about me sitting down and vibing with a crowd of people who are literally eating food and talking to their friends. Don't worry about it. I am in a space of, you think you can do better? Okay, go do it. Don't worry about it. Don't fucking worry about it. And that long story short, is when it all started to click for me. I literally went from the 3 months of this year, first 3 months of this year, feeling like, God, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you pulling everything away, especially my residency at Inner Crew, because I was building that baby to be my own and was building a clientele there. Why are you taking everything away from me? Feeling just like lost. I went from that to, in 2 weeks, having such a shift in my spirit of, oh, you're removing shit so you can make room for new things, better things. All this stuff, all this new beginning stuff I was feeling in my body, all this, it's time for me to have more. You're literally moving things out of the way. But not only that, you're waiting for me to be on board with it. Waiting for me. Sometimes it's us, y'all. Waiting for me to be on board with it. And when I tell you, the moment I said I'm done, I literally, I'm sitting there talking to the drummer who books us, and he's relaying what the owners of this restaurant are saying. And I had such an overwhelming feeling of, not today, not anymore. You know, that unsettling feeling, that angry, unsettling feeling. Sometimes you catch yourself saying something before you can process what you're saying. I literally was like, I'm tired of talking about this. Don't worry about it. I'm done. This will be my last month here. And when I felt myself saying it, I had already known it was something I wanted to do, right? But I felt myself saying it. And when I tell you, it was like my whole spirit, came back to myself. And I felt like, oh, this is what God wanted me to do. God wanted me to choose me. God wanted me to be like, no, I am that bitch. He wanted me to be like, oh, I see why you're removing things, and now I'm on board with whatever you're doing. Because mind you, I have been in a place of, I'm waiting for you, God. What are you doing? I'm waiting for you, God. What are we doing? Please just tell me what we're doing. And he has been giving me signs, because he knows me. He knows that I need the little nuggets, the little gems, that he leaves around, the little things for me to, okay, just keep being still in God, keep being focused in God, keep waiting for him. But when I tell you, when that came out of my mouth and I fixed my mouth to say it, how I came back to myself spiritually and felt more aligned and at peace, I knew in that one moment that, oh, you're just waiting for me. You've been waiting for me to be on board with new. I'm over here waiting for new beginnings, but you're waiting on me to be ready for new beginnings. You're waiting on me to walk away from the shit that's not serving me. Even though it feels good and comfortable, well, it didn't feel good, but it feels comfortable and familiar, because this is what I've been doing for the last 15 years. I've been going and driving to this place and doing this, but just because this is familiar doesn't mean it's still for me. Doesn't mean that it's in a place where I'm appreciated. And woo! Not only that, it was also how it happened. I'm literally not even supposed to be there that night because I misread a text message. I wasn't even supposed to be there. When I get there, there was one of the bartenders there who moved out of the state, happened to be there with his fiance. They're about to get married. And he was such a sweet, one of my favorite bartenders. There's a few, but he was the sweetest fucking guy. And when he quit, he was really nervous. I remember us talking about how he's moving to another state to be with this woman, and they've been long distance, and he knows he loves her, and she's a great woman, but he was scared. I don't know what the future is going to hold. And he's such a good guy, I just was I hope she's good. I hope she's a good woman. Come to find out, met her, great energy, great vibes. They're head over heels in love with each other, right? But he was there that night, and I remember asking him, so was it worth it to leave? And he was like, best thing I ever did. This is the happiest I've ever been. That was happening that night. I wasn't supposed to be there. Some of my regulars that were cool, and this husband and wife, they know that how I've been feeling about this place, how I've been feeling about the fact that you want to keep talking about me and what I'm doing when I'm actually making people stay the whole fucking night to hear me sing, but you don't want to address the blatant disrespect and unprofessionalism of somebody else. So they knew. It was like, I felt like everything was in line for me to be there that night, for me to make that choice. And the peace that came over me when I did, like, it was like, whoa, it is time. I've had moments where I've gotten fired from jobs, like, because of discrimination, and you know, she knows lawyers, so she did get her money on the back end. But, and being frantic. And I've had a moment where I've been fired and I kept hearing a voice in my head say, it's time, it's time, it's time. And that was the first time I decided to be a full-time creative. Because God was like, it's time. You can't be working for other people. Like, it's not time for you to work for other people. And after that, I was a full-time creative for 9 years. I feel like now God has got me in a place of where I'm lining up stuff for the long, long haul. Because, you know, she ain't no spring chicken. She's still a sexy chicken, okay? But she ain't no spring chicken. So the seeds that I'm sowing now, I feel like are for the longer haul, like my 50s, feel me? You know, the next stage of my life. What are the options I want to have? But I also feel more than I ever have that God is like bringing something, and it's going to be better. And no shade or disrespect, but I just remember like talking to a friend, and I was saying, like, I know this has been my home base for 14 years, but honestly, I don't see myself being a 50-year-old singer in a random Thai restaurant for the rest of my life. Like, I'll do other venues like a Spaghettini, a Vibrato, you know, a Blue Note, more well-known venues, you know, but I don't see myself driving out 30 miles to come get some cash to do this at 50. And at 42, that was a realization I had never really considered. It's just not me. Like, it might be for other people, but I just felt like that just wasn't that's not my ministry. I didn't want that to be my ministry. If I want to come out and jam with people, fine, but I just didn't feel like that's for me, right? So today I'm actually telling everybody, like, you know, telling a few people, not everybody, but a few people, like, hey, I'm leaving, it's my last month, so make sure I get your number, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the night, see, this is how God be, like, you know, reminding me that I'm on the right track, right? There was a guy there who was there supporting the other singer. He was with a group of people. It was the whole table, great energy, you know, just amazing energy, present, having a good time. But this man would stand up so many times to applaud me at the end of my songs. And he came over to me and introduced himself, and he said, I just have a question for you. And I said, what? What's the question? And he was like, you're so good. Like, why are you singing here? And that's not the first time people have asked me that. But this is the first time where that question resonated in you're right. Why am I singing here? And it's not a shade thing or nothing, but it's just like when you start to realize that you're like, you need to do something different. And I said, that's funny. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, why am I singing here? This is actually my last month. So I just kind of giggled. He didn't realize why I was giggling, but it's funny how God will have people say things to you, or things will happen to check your energy, to check your resonance, right? And I've had people say that to me before, and I've been like, oh, well, you know, it's like my home base. But tonight, when he said that, in my soul, I was like, you're right. Why am I singing here? I deserve more. I've worked hard. I've really, of course there's always more to learn, but what I do, and I don't know many people in this town that do what I do. And I work hard at building my catalog over the years. Every year I'm adding new music. Every year I'm adding new songs. Like, I'm one of those singers where you could ask me some random shit for the most part, and I probably can sing it. I've worked hard to be a professional person, to show up, to have all of the things, to have the gear, to learn how to do my own sound. like all of the things, you know. And I'm good at what the fuck I do, and I can connect to people, and I know that God has given me that gift. I am a healer, I'm a connector, and I'm professional, and I know I deserve better. And for the first time in my career, I know, to the point to where I was willing to walk away from something that has been substantial in my life. So all this to say, a lot of times, y'all, I don't know if you're feeling this shift, but I'm feeling the shift like never before. And a lot of it is about you choosing you, about you owning what you bring to the table, owning that you are the table. And I just really feeling it like I know. A lot of times God is waiting for us to get on board. We're sitting around waiting for things to change, but God is waiting for us to step out and step away from things that are not in the future. And for me, that's also been like certain friendships or certain relationships like don't resonate with me anymore, like, or I'm not blinding myself to the bullshit I've seen from people, and now I'm putting people in different places. Feel me? Like, I don't need to be around certain things and certain people anymore, because I see who you are, and I see, like, you know, the other side of things that I don't think necessarily serve me. It's not just your career, it's people too. You know, you may be having gut feelings about certain relationships or certain people you spend time around or certain habits that you're having, and that nudge is like you're being tested to see if you're ready for new, because if you're ready for new, you're ready to walk away and step away from the old shit. So this whole rant is hopefully a way for you guys to feel seen, to maybe make sense of what you're feeling, because none of this shit made sense for me until this month. Like, literally in a fog of what the fuck for the last 5 months, y'all. And now I'm in a place of like, okay, God, I see it, I'm on board. What are we gonna do? I'm excited to see what you're gonna bring, because every time I've left something, I've gotten something better. So yeah, walk away from the old, y'all. I really hope this helped y'all. I hope that somebody understands and feels seen. And let's get excited about moving forward, but embracing the in-between phase, because life doesn't work where things shift instantly, and that's something that we as humans have to understand, and I'm speaking to myself. There is an in-between phase that we have to be okay with, and it's not always easy. And I look, what I'm doing right now to pay bills is not necessarily what I really want to be doing, but I understand that the in-between time is sometimes uncomfortable. So yeah, let's step out on faith. Let's step out and choose ourselves for once. Bet on ourselves, know what the skills and talents and gifts that God put in us, and really own them as we move forward into the rest of the year. Because I really do feel like the world is shifting, and so are we.